Hello, ladies, gents, and NBs. This is George,
My name is Kevin.
and we're the Flower Boys, and this is your favorite worst soccer podcast. And we're back for the 2022-23 season, and today we'll be looking at the final game of Matchday 3 between Manchester United and Liverpool.
Yeah, and just to go over some recent form for both of these teams, they're both in garbage form. Manchester United with two losses to start out the season, and with the 4-0 embarrassment at Brentford, and then Liverpool with two draws, which is very disappointing since they're obviously challenging for the title. They were frustrated at Fulham and Crystal Palace. So going into this match, both teams were in poor form. So I guess people didn't know what to expect, but Liverpool seemed to always have an edge in this matchup. So yeah, let's just go to the Manchester United lineup.
All right, sweet. They started off with De Gea in goal, as expected. They had Dalot in the right back, benching Wan-Bissaka to be a more offensive back line. Then in the two center defenders, you have Lisandro Martinez, their new acquisition from Ajax, and Rafa Varane. On the left, you have um, Malacia, and then in the center of the park, you have Ericsson and McTominay being the holding mids, and then above them you have Sancho on the left, Fernandez tying in the mid and the attack, and then on the right you have Elanga, and up top you have Rashford. So there's some key absences here, Maguire and Ronaldo. Um, Definitely the two biggest names on the team for their poor performances this season. Ten Hag showing a lot of personality and prioritizing the team and collective football as opposed to the big names and the captain. Um, and I'm pretty, I guess it's not surprising, but it's nice to see that Ten Hag is trusting Ericsson again to come out from the back, especially after his couple mess ups in Brentford last week. Um, and that is all I have for the Manchester United lineup. But today was when Manchester United presented Casemiro, their biggest signing of the summer so far. It's a crazy move from Real Madrid. The man is going for the bag. There's no way, even though he's saying that he wants to win trophies, like he definitely is going to the wrong team.
Yeah, I
Um,
mean they
and
should just be honest, just be like, yeah, of course it's for the money. Like, come
yeah,
on.
man, I'll trust him more, man. Like he's a 30-year-old going from the most winning team in European football to Manchester United, who's not even playing the Champions League. Like, I'm not even mad at him. That's gonna be crazy bags, and he's gonna
he
have a
hasn't
tough time.
he hasn't won the Europa League though, I think. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. He has that to aspire to. All right, moving on to the Liverpool lineup.
Yeah, and so Liverpool also have key absences, but it's not because of poor performance. It's mainly injury. Matip is out. So is Thiago, and then Darwin Nunez, who is their star signing of the summer. He is out on suspension from a red card after his headbutt against Anderson in the last game against Palace. I mean, he lost his mind. But anyway, the Liverpool lineups here. Allison in the back. Robertson and TAA are the wingbacks, always. Van Dijk and Gomez are the center back pairing. In the midfield, we have Milner, Henderson, and Elliott. Uh, Weaker midfield than usual, but it makes sense due to all the injuries. And then up top, still stellar firepower with Luis Diaz on the left, Firmino up top, and Salah. Although I was worried about Firmino since he hasn't been playing full 90-minute games. And so I didn't know how long he would stay effective for. But
I also feel like his scoring, his personal like firepower has been pretty lacking for the last season and a half. He's been more focused on build up play, so it's interesting, like coming from Nunez, who's supposed to be your guaranteed goal scorer, to Firmino, who's going to be, I don't know, more of build up play than finishing off the plays for the team.
yeah, and so that makes it even more important for Salah and Luis Diaz to be that finisher in that case. I agree. And so
Yeah, again, we're touching upon the fact that the captain Maguire got benched. His poor performances of all of last season, and then again starting off this season, has have really let the team down. His playing out the back is not up to par, especially coming from Ten Hag, who's used to having Ajax and having a smooth transition from keeper all the way up to the forward line. And then you have Ronaldo on the bench too, which is crazy, right? It's Manchester United's like biggest player of all time, arguably. And Ten Hag again is just prioritizing the team. He knows that Ronaldo is the past, and they're looking for younger talent and quicker people up front so they could do the high press that his teams are known for playing.
exactly, and I mean he can't keep playing Ronaldo. He can't keep starting Ronaldo if he really wants to completely rebuild the team. And this is like a multiple years project. So I think he has to phase out Ronaldo if he wants to be successful.
For sure, for sure. And I feel like people have been a little too harsh on the way Man U's been going form wise. I mean, obviously being a team of that caliber and having the results that they've been having lately is horrible. But like you said, it's a transition year, and it's actually going to be a transition couple of years, right? They have to rebuild the entire team. I feel like they have to do like seven, eight new acquisitions to have a pretty competitive team. Right now, they're just kind of patching as much as they can for this season. But what's more important is to see Ten Hag's style of football being implemented in the next couple games.
And you saw it too with Arsenal. You can draw parallels there. I mean, they had a couple seasons that were just horrible under Arteta, and then look at them now, and then they're playing. I think the some of the most impressive football I've seen this season so far. Even though it's still early on, but I mean they're in first place for a reason. So
For sure, for sure. All right, we're gonna start off with a little bit of the match review. So Manchester United started off really hot. It was really impressive. At minute 10, Elanga hits the post after a great sliding pass from Fernandez. Um, but things actually started coming together for Manchester United at minute 15. There was a great collective play for Manchester United after a counter attack. Actually, six of Man U players were able to touch the ball for this perfect counter to be finalized. It ends with Sancho scoring an amazing goal, leaving Milner completely on the ground, and basically just passing it into the back of the net. He didn't even have to kick it too hard. Really reminiscent of the time that Sancho was playing in Dortmund and his when he had his best form. Definitely making Milner have a bruise on his ass, and then Van Dijk is looking like a statue at this play. It was really a beautiful, wonderful goal. I would definitely recommend you all to go and watch a clip of it. It leaves everyone stunned, and the entire crowd goes wild. It was an amazing goal. Great beginning for the game for Man U.
yeah, Old Trafford starts dreaming again, and then you can see Van Dyke. He's pretty much this is a still image, but if you laid a video over this, his position wouldn't change for the last 5 seconds, and so Milner's expecting him to cover when he covers Sancho's shot to the wide post, but then after Milner full commits to the challenge, no one's there to back him up, which should be Van Dijk's job. But at that point, it's too late, and he fools Milner and he fools Allison, and then he can just slot it into the near post. And I mean, it's a very easy finish. And so, understandably, Milner right after the goal chews out Van Dijk for his static positioning, and I mean, rightly so. This was just a sign of things to come, but he really did look lost the entire game. He wasn't up to his usual standards.
Yeah. I mean, Stevie Nickel from ESPN FC always says when a player looks this bad, they look like a schoolboy out there playing against these men. Van Dijk was completely out of form today. I don't know. Everything just seemed to be like a couple seconds too slow for him. I'm not sure what happened if he just assumed that Manchester wouldn't be able to come to this game prepared, but he definitely looked at fault in this goal, and it was pretty remarkable at his dip in form compared to the Van Dijk that really brought the Champions League to Liverpool a couple seasons ago.
And then Liverpool, after this goal, they had to respond. So they tried to get some chances, but nothing clear cut.
Yeah, and then a minute 27, we see that Liverpool finally is about to break away, and then there's an incredibly smart tactical foul from Rafa Varane, completely contrasting Van Dijk, who's completely out of the loop. Varane knows that Diaz is going to be one-on-one versus De Gea, so he just grabs him from midair and pushes him down. It's not really a harsh foul. It looks a little bit more aggressive in the game of play, but when you slow it down, he just pulls him. Nothing dangerous, but just an incredibly smart foul to not lose the lead that they had just gotten in minute 15.
Well, you know Luis Diaz, he's always trying to sell the fouls. So, but anyway, Liverpool they keep pushing. Man United are pretty much just absorbing pressure and trying to counterattack, but they almost pay for it. Where after a cross into the box, Bruno Fernandes tries to clear the ball, but it ends up hitting it at his own net. Very, very fortunately, Lisandro Martinez is there to block it, and it almost hits his arm too, so it could have been a penalty as well. But it hits right underneath his armpit, and so they're able to just scramble it off the line. And then, I mean, that's a close call, and I feel like if that goes in, then Liverpool just takes this game again, and the United crisis continues. So
No, for sure. I don't know. It just seems like Bruno Fernandes is like a secret agent for fucking Liverpool here. It's really crazy that someone that gets paid millions of euros can't clear the ball in the right direction and almost scores a banger on his own team. Lisandro got really lucky that his arms were slightly above the natural resting position, or else the movement would have caused there to be a handball. Like you said, it hit him right underneath the armpit. Super lucky, and then he reacts really quickly to do a goal line clearance and saves Manu from a dumb goal that would have caused a big issue right before halftime.
yeah, and like there's literally no one near him, and like there's no pressure on Fernandez, and so that yeah would have been such a costly mistake. But then so halftime rolls around, and then on to the second half. Man United hit Liverpool for a second goal, and it comes off another costly error. The Liverpool team was just being very sloppy this game. The passes were just a couple meters off every now and then. The touches weren't good. And you can see here Henderson tries to control a ball from the air, but then he takes a heavy touch, and Martial grabs up the heavy touch, and since they were in a vulnerable position with their high line, Martial has an easy slot behind to Rashford, who miraculously stayed onside. They didn't show a good angle for this. I thought initially it was offside, but I don't know. Anyway, the VAR determines it's onside, and then Rashford, one on one against Allison, has a choice to go far post or near post. He decides to go near post with the quick shot, and it does beat Allison. And it's 2-0 Manchester United.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, I think the biggest takeaway from this play is Henderson's lack of control. The entire midfield from Liverpool was like really sluggish. I know Thiago is like pretty injury prone, but I didn't realize that having him out of the team would really cause such a big mishap. Henderson was not moving the ball fast enough. His passes were pretty bad. Like that ball control was really childish. I don't understand how a professional player couldn't stop a ball. Like that caused a counterattack that led to this breakaway for Rashford. And like you said, that offside, barely onside call, that was crazy. Like it's got to be like centimeters that let Rashford score that goal. It was super tight. But I guess I'm always happy when the attacking side gets the benefit of the doubt, and that really cemented the fact that Manchester was playing a little bit better in the first half, and I think they deserved a little bit more. So starting off the second half strong is pretty solid for Manchester United and really perfect for Ten Hag's first potential win for the season, you know?
Absolutely. And then after this goal, Manchester United back to the same plan where they sat in and then invited Liverpool pressure. But like I was saying, Liverpool was sloppy and they weren't. They were near the box, inside the box, but they just did not trouble De Gea until the 80th minute and beyond. And so they were finally able to get one goal back.
Yeah, the second goal comes at minute 82 from a corner kick after actually Lisandro Martinez almost scored on himself. And that was what led to this corner kick. It was again, I don't know what's going on with Manchester United. They're trying to score on themselves. They're not used to winning, so they're really trying to fuck themselves over. Um, but yeah, Carvalho, which was one of the subs that Klopp ended up making. He had an amazing shot that was saved by De Gea, a really great save, but unfortunately he wasn't able to clear it too far out. And then you have Salah with a second shot, which is a simple header. It actually goes off the near post and into the back of the net. Um, Looking at the play again, I think Ericsson could have potentially cleared the first corner, the first cross into the box, and that unfortunately allowed for Carvalho to get that shot. And then after the clearance, I don't know if you noticed, but Varane goes in pretty weak and doesn't actually get to Salah on time. So it basically gives Salah all the time in the world to finish off that play and score and bring Manchester United back into the game with only 8 minutes left in the match. So when they scored, I thought that maybe I thought that maybe Liverpool could come back into the match, tie the game, because Manchester United has had a horrible start of the year. So I just expect them to choke. But to my surprise, they were able to actually hold it through and pull off the victory, you know?
Yeah, and I think Varane doesn't go in hard because he is on a yellow. So I don't know if he wanted to risk that and like get a second yellow. Because you're still 2-0 up and you can definitely let in a goal still, but it's risky. It's risky. Yeah.
No, that's true. That's true. He probably did weigh that in that play. I mean, it was also a really quick play. Like when we kept watching the replay, and it was hard to find a still just because how quickly everything happened and transgressed in this like minute. But it was great because it left the last 8 minutes of the game to be really high tension, high pace, and definitely um, not rooting for Liverpool, but the game kind of tilted on to their side as
As
they
a
were trying to
neutral,
equalize.
as a neutral,
As,
you
as
kind of
neutral, of
wanted
course.
it, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was definitely fun. As a Barca fan, I hate Liverpool.
Yeah. I'm a
But
club
yeah,
fan, so I have a little bit of bias towards Liverpool, but I'm not a Liverpool fan. So right after this goal too, Bruno Fernandes, he was the biggest shithouser of the night. He got a yellow card for simulation, and then he pretty much kept the ball from Salah for like 15 seconds, maybe 20
I think it was
seconds.
longer, man. And then he pretended to get his eye poked. Like
Yeah, twice, twice.
he's such an asshole, man.
Yeah,
I mean, I
Salah's way
appreciate
too
it.
nice, man. He's like,
Yeah, man. I don't know how he didn't like push him or anything, but he
because
has way too much
usually,
patience.
yeah, usually other players will just like fucking punch right through your stomach to try and
Yeah,
get the
exactly.
ball. Yeah.
I appreciate at the end of the game, Klopp went up to Fernandez and just choked him, like
Oh,
playfully that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh man. But yeah, overall it was a really good game, especially the first half where Manchester United was showing dominance. And I just as a neutral, I thought that was really interesting seeing Ten Hag actually be able to show his style of football in this Manchester team that has been struggling for so long. Seems like they're finally being able to find their identity. Something I think one of the key takeaways of this game is seeing the defensive strength of Manchester United. Um, I was commenting this with Kevin throughout the game. The Manchester United players, like the back line, was celebrating every time they made like a good tackle or De Gea had a good save. It seems like the team has pretty good unity and there's like cohesion, and they're really buying into the Ten Hag style of football that they started to play. So that's pretty exciting to see. Hopefully, they get even better as time goes on, and that they could actually be competing for top four. Right now, they're slightly off the mark, but I think if they show progression in the way they are going, it's going to be exciting. And maybe next year, who knows, they could compete um, top two, and that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, one thing I am a little, I guess, hesitant about is that Manchester United in this game in particular, they're playing like a sit back and counter attack style, but like what happens? For example, next week they're gonna go up against Southampton, and so I believe it's Southampton, and so that team is gonna likely sit back, and so what we need to see is like how well they play in possession and how well they can penetrate teams and win that way. So they need to work on both styles. Mm-hmm.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, look, this game was a lot of counterattacking, but even then, like in the second goal, no, sorry, in the Sancho goal, um, it is a counterattack that starts to play, but six players get to touch the ball, right? They have a pretty silky style of play. They're able to pass it along, really quick movement. Um, if they could just implement that when they have possession as opposed to countering, I think they have the basics down right now, and I think it'll be a pretty smooth transition from a game like where they're in the on their back end and back foot trying to come back into the game and because Liverpool is typically known for having more possession and I think they'll be able to implement that when they're in control completely with possession. I don't see it being a huge ask of them, but I understand your worry for them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to wrap things up now, overall league, this was a really fun match day. If you didn't get to watch uh, Leeds Chelsea, Leeds destroyed Chelsea. Jesse Marsh, he's the next big thing. No. um, Newcastle Man City was absolutely insane too. So highly
3-3,
recommend.
right?
Yeah, 3-3.
Oh man.
Newcastle was up 3-1 at one point. So it was great match day, and I'm glad the Prem's back. It's a hell of a lot of fun. So
For sure. Thank you all for watching. It was good to be back.
all right, yeah, we're signing out. See you.